welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about plants in my dart frog tanks. I have day geckos and I have dart frogs. I have about 9 dart frogs and 4 day geckos. I have 2 electric blue day geckos and 2 gold dust day geckos. And I have a variety of different tanks. They're definitely not all together in the same tank. So I use only live plants, and I just want to talk a bit about live plants versus fake plants. I think that it's really important to have live plants, and there are a ton of benefits in live plants. So I'm going to show you my tanks right now. All the plants, they're not all doing the greatest. I find it pretty hard to find plants that do really well. I stick with the tropical plants and the plants that you can find at places like Home Depot and things like that. But I noticed that each of my tanks, they do have different lighting. They're a different size, so the humidity is always different. Some plants do really well in some tanks, while some plants don't do so well in other tanks. So right now I have 2 tanks that I think are doing really great. It's taken me a while. They're my oldest tanks. It's taken me a while to get them there. They are still plants that still need to grow out, and it's not the way I want it. I don't think my tanks will ever be the way I want it. I'm always going to be updating them and changing them, but I'll show you those 2 tanks, and then I have 3 other tanks. I just took down one of my tanks, so I only have 3 other tanks, a total of 5 tanks. My 3 other ones that really need some help in the plant situation, and they were doing well about a month or so before, or a month or so ago, and just lately I've kind of changed the lighting on them, so that really messed with the plants. I got them a better light, and they have more light, and the plants were doing really well in the shade, and with the addition of the more sunlight and the stronger sunlight, yeah, they're not doing as well in the change of environment. So I'm going to be updating that and changing that. But first, I'll show you the plants, and I'll talk a bit about live plants versus fake plants in enclosures that house animals like dart frogs and day geckos. So while I show you my tanks, I just want to mention why live plants are so much more beneficial than artificial plants. So first off, all plants, live and fake, are important because they not only look good, they provide drinking surfaces, they provide hides, and they provide visual barriers. So hides and visual barriers will reduce any aggression or any conflict and help whatever you have in your tank feel safe and comfortable. They really need to be able to hide and not just be out in the open. So real plants, there is consistent upkeep with real plants, which I kind of talked about before. I said I'm always adding, changing, trimming the plants, taking plants out that don't work well, finding plants that do work well. So it is consistent upkeep. It's a lot more work than artificial plants, but there are a lot of benefits. I think that they look a lot better. It looks a lot more natural, but artificial plants can also look really well, so that's kind of your opinion and what you think and what you want to do. But real plants help maintain a high humidity in the tank. Live plants also utilize animal waste, so you don't have to clean up quite as much or in the same way. Live plants also take up more time to set up, so you have to create the layers, the drainage layers, have the proper soil and all that kind of thing. So there's more planning and there's a bit more setup and maintenance. So there's pros and cons about live plants and real plants, and you just kind of have to look at your lifestyle and what you want and how much time you want to put into the tank and the upkeep. For artificial plants, they are very easy to clean and disinfect. There's no upkeep, and you can use any plants in any setup. You don't need to consider the lighting, humidity, and all that kind of stuff. these are the plants that I'm putting in. I also have these clippings. The first thing that I'm going to do is prep the plants to go into the tanks. So this is how I prepare plants from my garden stores to make them suitable for terrariums. I have to clean off any possible fertilizer that may be on them and clean off any possible pests. So to prep them, I want to take off as much soil as possible without actually harming the roots. And I also wash them. And I also wash them and rinse them on the leaves under water and rub the leaves to wash off anything that may be on the leaves. Another thing that you can do is use like a cotton pad or a makeup pad and rubbing alcohol and rub down each of the leaves. Remember to do the top and the bottom. Only do this if you have an animal that is more likely to eat the leaves. You don't really have to do this for a dart frog. This is what the tanks look like. After I put the plants in, I added the tall fern and the orange one with the flowers. This is the before of my other tank. And I'm just going to show you how I actually put the plants in once they were rinsed off. So I first made a hole in the soil. So I'm going to do this back corner. There's my hole. And then I'm going to take my plant and just put it right in the hole. And then take loose soil, fresh soil from a bag, and put it around. For the clippings, I use this kind of pink powder and just make a little hole in the ground with my finger and stick it in. This is the powder that I am using. It is called stem root. The frogs always go check out the new plants right away. And this is what this tank looks like with it. All the plants in and it completed. I added some more plants to the top for the geckos. And this is the next tank that I will be working on, and as well as these two. These two are completed. You can see the before pictures earlier in the video. And again, the frogs are checking out the new plants. They always come out and climb all over them. And there's my other electric blue day gecko. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and please like and subscribe for similar videos. I do a lot of videos on dog and cat kind of training and behavior, and I also have a lot of these dart frog and gecko related videos and rabbit videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.